Joseph Murphy taught that every word you attach to I am shapes the three pillars of life itself: health, wealth, and peace. Imagine this: every time you say I am tired, your body obeys. Every time you say I am afraid, your nerves surrender. But when you declare I am strong, I am guided, I am whole, the subconscious, that silent builder, rushes to fulfill it. Tonight, you will discover how these two simple words can heal the body, open the doors of abundance, and bring a calmness that nothing can shake. The secret has always been near your lips, and it begins with I am. Hear this: the words you fasten to I am become the weather of your days. Attach dawn to it, and dawn arrives. Attach storm, and clouds obey. Tonight, we'll walk the narrow bridge between thought and becoming, and at the end, I'll show you the one turn of mind that changes the road forever. The story begins in the desert of a single breath. You inhale, and for a moment, the world pauses. No past, no future, only the living presence that Murphy called unconditioned life. Call it God, Spirit, infinite intelligence. He would not quarrel with names. What mattered to him was function, the way the invisible moves into form when you feel a thing to be true. In the book, a voice speaks from a flame that refuses to extinguish, and when asked its name, it answers with the most honest sentence ever pronounced: I am that I am. Non-negotiable being, pure presence declaring itself. Murphy taught that every time you say I am, you are striking the same chord. The first I am is your awareness, limitless, choiceless, the silent actor. The second I am is the answer made flesh: health in a body, wisdom in a decision, provision in a place called not enough. Between the two stands the word that, like a seed you select from the garden of possibility. That is your choice. That is your design. Choose with reverence. The earth of your subconscious will not debate the seed you drop into it. It will simply grow it. So imagine we are standing together before a great still lake at night. The sky is clean, the stars are precise, and your reflection is waiting. Murphy would say, attach nobility to I am. Think of it as the law of mirrors. Whisper, I am guided, and the water becomes a compass. Whisper, I am whole, and your reflection mends itself along the invisible seam you just traced. Whisper, I am defeated, and watch how the surface dimples and drains as if some unseen plug were pulled. The lake does not argue, it reflects. You have practiced this law already, perhaps without knowing. The day you said, I am tired, your limbs did not only report your fatigue, they recruited it. The hour you confessed, I am afraid, your chest tightened not to punish you, but to fulfill the command. The morning you dared to declare, I am strong, and you meant it, you felt the subtle surge rise to meet your words. Murphy would smile at that and say, good. Now keep it. Keep it until your bones remember. Here is the tender mercy in his teaching. You do not have to force the rose to bloom. You need only select the seed and keep your hands steady. Be fascinated, he said. Be absorbed. Your subconscious is the faithful earth, feminine, creative, unjudging. It will bring forth whatever you impart to it with feeling. The conscious mind, masculine, chooses the seed and drops it in. Together they form the inner marriage by which worlds are conceived. If you speak I am with conviction, you are wedding heaven to earth inside your own chest. But what of the old patterns, the flares of anger, the knotted fear, the habit of saying, I'm not enough? Do not wrestle the shadow. It only multiplies when you fight it. Do what the sea does with a jagged rock. surround it, wear it down with the tide of better truth. I am divinely guided, you say. I am prospered. I am in my true place. Let the phrases be more than syllables. Let them be atmospheres you live in. Walk in them the way a monarch walks the halls of her own house. The mind will protest at first because it loves the familiar, even if the familiar hurts. Keep walking. The hallways will memorize your steps. Notice how the great stories hide this law in plain sight. Moses stutters and then speaks. David is small and then sufficient. Ruth is widowed and then rooted. Not because fate flipped a coin, but because each in their hour aligned with the inner decree, I am sent, I am able, I am upheld. And when the decree is held long enough, something quiet and unstoppable starts moving beneath the floorboards of circumstance. Tonight, try it this way. Before sleep, lay one hand on your heart as if it were a book you are about to read. Whisper 3 sentences, each a bell rung in the dark. I am loved. I am guided. I am becoming. Don't beg, don't bargain. Announce. Then be still, not passive, but rooted. This is what scriptures mean by stand and see the salvation of the Lord. Stand in the state, see it magnetize the means. Your world will not change because you burn your old calendar. It will change because the one reading the calendar changes. Seek first the kingdom, Murphy said. The kingdom meaning the inner atmosphere from which life proceeds. When you correct the climate, the crops obey. When you enthrone I am as the only power, you are safe from the idol of it can't be done, safe from the small gods of circumstance and they said so. You stop giving scepters to weather and start giving them back to the sovereign within. But do not skip the most daring part, forgiveness. The pipe must be cleared for the water to run. If you carry the sting of old stories, the blessing cannot flow clean. Forgive because you are ready to live, not because history deserves it. Forgive until the memory is a photograph without heat. Then speak your decree again and feel the difference, the way the word travels farther, like a song unblocked by walls. Would you like a sign? Here is one, your next thought. You are free to choose it. Choose a sentence that honors you. I am ready. Keep it close as a talisman. And as you hold it, watch. The long corridor of your days lights up, one lamp at a time. What if the words you speak tonight plant a garden you will walk in a month from now? And what if one simple ritual could move the mountains you've stopped looking at? Murphy spoke often of the alchemy of attention, how the end you contemplate becomes the tide that pulls all the right boats into harbor. To the untrained mind, this seems like magic or delusion. But notice, every inventor first sees the finished clock before metal wheels know how to turn. Every healer first feels wholeness before blood remembers how to circle without complaint. Having seen the end, he said, you have willed the means. The invisible commits to construction the moment you enthrone the result. Let us practice with reverence. Choose a desire that is noble, godlike, dignified. Speak it into the holy blank. I am in my true place. Do not hunt for evidence. Become the evidence. Walk through tomorrow as if the ground you tread were the very floorboards of that true place. Answer emails from that altitude. Tie your shoes with that serenity. When fear rattles its keys like a jailer, remember, locks are powerless against a door that has learned it was never shut. You may ask, But what of the negative echoes I've already released? What of the years I said, I am unlucky and I am always last? Take heart. The infinite does not count the score as men do. The moment you attach a new name to I am, a new harvest begins. The old field will bear out its final bitter crop, perhaps, but do not mistake the last weeds for the next year's seed. Keep sowing the new. The earth is patient, but it is not stubborn. If the mind is a house, then imagination is the hearth where meals are made and winters are softened. Sit there daily. Feed the fire with prayers that feel like pictures. I am guided. And watch a subtle light spill beneath the doors of decision. I am strong. And feel your spine remember how to carry the crown it forgot it wore. I am wealthy. Not as greed, but as stewardship. A river that enjoys being a river because it gets to water both fields and faces. And when life argues, and it will, do not reply with frantic syllables. Reply with posture. Be the calm at the center of the storm that Murphy said lives in everyone who dares to know instead of wish. Knowledge here means intimacy with the inner law. The subconscious accepts what the conscious impresses with feeling. Therefore, I will feel my results before they arrive. This is not pretending. This is parenting. You are nursing a future until it can stand. Now, a moment of sacred practicality, because transformation loves a schedule. For the next 21 days, join our community in a simple, luminous challenge. Each morning, before touching your phone, speak 9 lines to your heart. 3 for love, 3 for guidance, 3 for provision. Then, in the evening, rehearse the end. Close your eyes and inhabit the finished chapter for 3 unbroken minutes. Murphy warned us, do not hand your scepter to idols. An idol is any condition you call final. Diagnosis, debt, rejection, delay. The instant you say, this is the power, you have bent the knee to a carved thing. Thou shalt have no other gods before me, the inner law says, meaning place no power before the I am you carry. Symptoms are weather. Seasons pass, but the one who names the season is the same all year. Consider the subtle idolatry of self-condemnation. I am worthless. I am late. I am always like this. Every such decree is a small altar built to a false god. Pull it down. Replace it with the mercy Murphy championed. I am learning. I am mending. I am new today. Mercy is not pretending you did not falter. Mercy is remembering who walks you back home. Let us speak of forgiveness again, for it is the locksmith of miracles. You forgive not to erase justice, but to restore flow. The subconscious, clogged with resentment, does not easily receive new impressions. It is like trying to water a garden with a hose filled with gravel. Clear it. Bless those who bruised you, not because bruises are holy, but because you are. Say it softly. I release you to your highest good, and I return to mine. Then whisper an I am that fills the space you just cleared. I am safe in love. Feel the hose unclench. Feel the water race. You may be tempted to ask for signs. Instead, become one. Be the person whose peace does not evaporate when the room is hot. Be the worker whose I am guided shows up as one clarity after another. Be the friend whose I am love makes people feel like they have just stepped into shade on a blistering noon. This is not performance, it is overflow. The cup you fill daily cannot help but spill. Remember the parable of the burning bush, fire that does not consume. That is you when you live from I am. You burn with purpose, but you are not burned by it. The task is bright, the self is steady. And when the mind says, "Who am I to go to Pharaoh, to confront what has oppressed me?" answer as the ancient voice answered, "I am has sent me," which is to say, I am not going alone. Presence walks me into every room. The time has come to mend a misunderstanding. People hear I am wealthy and they think of gold stacked in hushed vaults. Murphy thought of flow, ideas, opportunities, energy, generosity. Wealth is water. Its virtue is to move. If money is a part of your chosen seed, let your declaration be marinated in service. I am prospered to be a blessing. The earth hears motive. It welcomes rivers that plan to feed orchards. We conclude this block with a sacred dare. Tonight, remove one sentence from your inner speech, the ugliest I am that lingers at the edge of your mouth. Bury it like a weapon surrendered at the gates of a kingdom. Over its grave, plant this: I am ready for the beautiful. And do not look back. If the intermarriage of conscious and subconscious conceives your world, what happens when you bring them a vow spoken with tears and thunder and keep it? Now we cross the threshold from understanding into embodiment. Knowledge left idle begins to rust. Let's give it movement. Joseph Murphy called the conscious mind the selector and the subconscious the producer. Their dance is sacred choreography. The selector chooses the state. The producer fashions a stage, so convincing you forget it was built. To live wisely, you must remember, you picked the music. If you do not like it, change the record. Begin with breath, not because breath is mystical, but because it is obedient. Inhale and say inwardly, I am. Exhale and let the body finish the sentence with a felt word: peace, courage, clarity, strength. Do this for 4 cycles. Nothing heroic, just honest. Feel how the syllables alter the chemistry of your ribs. This is law, not trick. Thought and emotion are not casual acquaintances. They are covenant partners. Your body is the score they write together. Next, write by hand, the slow way, the deliberate way. 3 I am statements that describe your chosen end. Not tomorrow's chores, not frantic affirmations, but end states. I am a clear channel of creativity in my work. I am a lighthouse of kindness in every room. I am robust, radiant health. Under each, record a single act you will take today that agrees with that end. Draft a page. Send a generous message. Take a nourishing walk. Your action is the chisel. Your I am is the statue. Both are needed for the figure to appear. You may ask, but what if I lie? What if I declare I am strong while feeling fragile? Consider a violinist tuning her instrument in a cold church before the concert. The first note is never perfect. She does not call herself a liar. She listens, adjusts, and plays again. Your declaration is the first note. Your feeling is the tuning. Play it, adjust, play again. In time, the string warms to your intention, and the stone inside your chest becomes a bell. Murphy insisted on purity of allegiance. Do not put anything before God, he said. Translated for our age, do not place any condition before your inner authority. To say, I am, but the economy. I am, but they don't like me. I am, but look at the news, is to divide your house. The divided house cannot sing. Give the whole instrument to the music. Choose the end and let the means learn your name. There's an idea older than history. The absolute is one and everything else is its expression. When you say I am with reverence, You stand on that oneness like a continent. From there, discrimination is holy, limitation is not. To call yourself musician, teacher, engineer, parent, these are beautiful jackets the infinite wears to visit a specific street. But to call yourself broken, doomed, unworthy, these are chains the infinite never forged. Remove them. Walk with the ease of someone who knows his surname is being. Let us examine the mechanics of fear. Fear divides the field. It invents a second power and then kneels to it. You sense a diagnosis, a deadline, a departure, and say, "This has me." That sentence is the true danger, not the condition. Return to monotheism of the heart. There is only one power, and it favors my good. I am upheld. Speak it until your pulse capitulates. Fear will still visit because it likes the house it used to rent. But you are the landlord now, and your lease has one clause: no other gods before I am.
When resentment knocks, it brings witnesses, the past, the screenshot, the replayed conversation. Invite them in for tea and bless them on their way. Say out loud, "I release you to your path, and I return to mine." Then make a swap. This is crucial. Nature abhors a vacuum, and so does the subconscious. Into the space forgiveness opens, drop a gem. I am free. Put your hand on your sternum and feel it take. You'll know it has when your breath grows 2 measures deeper. But what of the stubborn patterns, you say? The ones that survived a dozen New Years? Be patient without apology. The thicker the oak, the more seasons to weather it smooth. Keep your rituals, keep your declarations, keep your actions small and golden. If you fall, fall forward into the next I am. The infinite is not watching with a grade book. It is pulsing in you like a second heartbeat, eager to express. Your participation is your worship. Now consider the sanctity of neutrality. After you declare, wait without fidgeting. This is not laziness. This is faith with backbone. The farmer who plants does not sit in the dirt and interrogate the soil. He tends, he waters, he waits. Waiting is not empty, it is pregnant. In waiting, you refuse to contradict your prayer with panic. You decline to rehearse the old ending. You hold the line inside until the world receives the memo. A practice. When a problem appears, do not rush to narrate catastrophe. Lift your eyes, literally, as if reading a message over the problem's head. Say, "I am the place where solutions arrive." Then act on the first clean step, not the whole staircase, just the step that feels like oxygen. The infinite loves momentum. It is the scent by which it finds you in the fog. Take the step. The next lamp lights. This is how men and women become quiet miracles in noisy places. They stop arguing with weather and start conversing with climate. They stop telling the world what it is and begin telling themselves who they are, until the world keeps overhearing it and must agree. What if your next breath could become a doorway, and beyond it a room where the future waits for you, hands open, as if you had already arrived? We have come to the river that parts when the staff is lifted. The staff is your word. The river is everything that ever told you no. Joseph Murphy did not promise a path without weather. He promised a law that does not tremble. When the wind is loud, lift the staff. When the bank seems too far, lift the staff. I am hath sent me, you say, not as theater, but as authority. Then step where there was no path, and notice, step by step, the ground installs itself beneath your feet. Let's bring the teaching to 3 realms where many hearts ache: health, calling, and love. Health. The body is a loyal listener. Speak to it as you would to a faithful horse after a long ride.
with firmness, with tenderness. Place your palm over the place that worries you and declare, I am whole, I am vital, I am renewed. Then behave like someone who believes that sentence. Hydrate, rest, move, consult wise counsel. The subconscious loves congruence. When your actions rhyme with your decrees, the music grows louder. Remember the story Murphy loved, the hypnotist who touches a man's neck and says, "This is a red-hot iron," and a blister appears. Mind to skin, idea to mark. If such harm can be conjured through false belief, how much more can healing be conjured through true awareness? Reverse the spell. Declare the good and rehearse the result. Let gratitude preempt the evidence. Gratitude is faith in present tense. Calling. Many wander, asking towns for their name. Murphy would smile and say, "Ask the throne inside." Sit quietly and repeat, "I am in my true place, doing what I love, divinely prospered." Do not force a telegram from heaven. Let images visit. Let tiny affinities announce themselves. A subject that tingles. A task that brings time to its knees. A kind of tired that feels like prayer. Follow these crumbs without shame. Your calling is not a ladder. It is a tree. It grows by rings you cannot see, until one autumn you look up and realize, I am home. Love. Begin at the only sane beginning. I am love, not performative niceness. Love as a quiet radiance that refuses to weaponize the past. If you are partnered, breathe this sentence into the shared air. I am a sanctuary to the one I chose. If you are seeking, breathe this. I am a match to the love I desire. Then become the match. Honest communication, clean boundaries, humor that does not wound, generosity that does not measure. The subconscious hears tone more than syllables. Become the music you want to dance with. There is a sentence from the mystics that rolls like thunder across centuries. What you are seeking is seeking you. Murphy's spin is simple. What you declare begins searching for you. Announce, I am confident, and watch the room reorganize to let your shoulders down. Announce, I am trusted, and notice how responsibility strolls toward you with a clipboard as if it finally found your address. Announce, I am ready, and watch the teacher appear in the oddest clothing, an article, a stranger's sentence on a train, a closed door that teaches you to knock twice. Guard your speech as if it were spell work, because it is. Do not make jokes whose punchline is your spirit. Do not trade belonging for belittling yourself. The universe is dangerously literal with the words, I am. Let your humor rise above your own bones. Laugh at the weather, never at the throne. If you stumble, do what kings and queens do when they trip on their robes. They keep walking, and the robe remembers who wears it. Do not rehearse the fall. Rehearse the rise. I am resilient. Life will test the sentence, not to expose you, but to install it. Each test is a craftsman tightening the bolts of your new identity. Now the promised revelation, the one hinted at when the night was young. The secret is not only that I am creates, it is that I am cannot be taken from you. Jobs depart, crowds forget, seasons change. I am remains. This means your center is fireproof. It means every loss is weather, not definition. It means you can begin again at noon on a subway with a tear in your eye and a hand on your heart and say, I am new, and heaven will nod as if to say, we've been waiting for you to remember. So here is the closing rite. Stand if you can. Close your eyes. Let your shoulders lower like drawbridges. Inhale and whisper, I am. Exhale and choose your second word. Do it again. and again, 3 times 3, a ritual quiet as snowfall. Then open your eyes and treat the next thing you touch as holy, because it is entering the world of a person who just remembered their surname. If this journey stirred your waters, come closer. Become a channel member and walk the inner path with us before the world hears the footsteps. Early access, deeper practices, the quiet room behind the stage where we can go farther together. But whether you join or simply carry this flame into your Monday, take the staff with you. Lift it often. Speak the name that cannot be spent. Now go, sovereign soul. The lake is waiting for your reflection. The desert is listening for your answer. And the voice that spoke from the burning bush still speaks in your chest, calm as dawn, bright as promise. I am that I am.